Okay, so best practices with KvCore. So CRM management tool. There's a lot in there that can get really, really confusing of all the things that are in there. But I've asked Dina Starr. She is a rock star at KvCore. She's been using it at another brokerage. Now she's with EXP. And, with EXP guys, we get KvCore for free. It's a CRM management tool. But I think there's a lot of people not utilizing it because it can kind of be confusing of, there's so many things to do. So you're going to boil it down to best practices within KvCore that people can get going right away. So Dina Starr, you go, girl, take it from here.
Hi, everyone. As Kelly said, I was recently at another brokerage and I'm pretty new to EXP. So I have a new KvCore account. I used KvCore at my last brokerage. So just a disclaimer, mine is not super built out since I just got access to my new KvCore account, which is really great. So I can show you what current things I'm doing to customize my system and how you can get started if you're brand new to the system. KvCore is a CRM. There are many CRMs on the market that do similar things, but this CRM is pretty expensive. And this one is actually free to us with our EXP dues. Other brokerages have access because it is a great system. It is a very robust system, I will say. It has a lot of features that a lot of people don't use because they are kind of confusing. And I like to say you want to run your CRM. You don't want your CRM to run you and for you to be spending hours and being super confused by all the features. So I'm just going to boil it down to like some of the main things that I think are most helpful. There are going to be so many other features that I won't talk about today because I just don't have time. But if you like what I'm talking about, maybe it's a good opportunity for you to learn more about the system. Or maybe you don't like it at all and you don't think this is right for you. And I think that's totally fine, right? If it's not right for you, you don't have to use KvCore.
But I just want to say one thing, like now that I've been in business for 7 years, we've never had a CRM. Started at some point, like all of a sudden you get really behind and we're playing catch up. So it's a great free, and again, you were at a brokerage that you had to pay for it. Now we get it free with EXP. I also want to say there's even more advanced training on the world. So Dina, I love that you're going to do best practices. Start right now. These are the things that you really utilize, right? But there's way more training on the world too with EXP.
Exactly. If there's other features you want to do a deep dive into, I would definitely recommend taking a look at other KvCore trainings if you think this is right for you. So when I think about a CRM for realtors, I think about two main uses that people would use a CRM for. Okay, number one would be to take new contacts that are not yet clients and have not yet entered under contract with you or a home, take them from a contact to a client to closed. So that's how a lot of people would interpret a CRM. How do you take a lead and turn them into a client? So that part of the journey is how some realtors would use a CRM. The second way realtors would use a CRM is to take a past client who has closed on a home and nurture and develop that relationship to keep them a forever client and so that they refer you more clients. So both ends of that client relationship before they become a client and then once they are a past client. So how can we serve both types of contacts with our CRM and do a better job so we don't forget things? And how do we use the system to keep us organized? I don't know if you're a super organized person. I'm not the most organized person. So this is a good exercise for me to become more organized and to nail down your system. So this is a good way to reflect about your current system on how you are communicating with the people in your business and how could you do it better. Maybe you have a great system already, maybe you don't. I think this is a good time to reflect on what type of communication are you having on a regular basis with your leads and your past clients, and how can you do that better or continue to do that the great way you're doing it. So I have just a little thought exercise for you right now. I want you to imagine that right now you get a message on Instagram from an acquaintance saying, hey, I want to start the process of buying a home. You're like, great, let's set up a buyer consult or coffee. You meet with this person. They share with you all of their search criteria, when their lease ends, when they want to buy a home, their relationship status, maybe they're getting engaged, tons of details. Where do you enter this information? I'm curious. For me, for a long time, this was in like 3 different notebooks and I would lose them. So maybe their timeline is a year out. I'm just curious, where are you putting this information about this person? And are you able to remember and find that information in the future? I am still finding random notes in my office from random phone calls I've had or notes in my notes app, because I'm not always in my office when I get a phone call or an Instagram. I don't know if you're more organized than me, but that has definitely been me for a long time. And so this is where I would say that a CRM does come into play. It's going to be a central place to house all of that information about your client. And also, maybe you have a phone call with them and they share more information, and you can create notes to keep you up to date with information about that client. So I'm actually going to screen share and start showing you the platform, showing you where you're going to put your clients. And then I'm going to hop back on video and talk about our next topic with KvCore. But I'm going to start screen sharing and show you my KvCore system so you know where this is happening. Okay. All right, it's loading. Okay. So this is my KvCore platform. If you go to the dashboard, this is just like your Facebook news feed. This is all of your objectives, your new information. And now I'm going to go to my Smart CRM, which is my list of my contacts. I don't have very many in here yet because I'm working on a bulk import. And I just wanted to explain that there's several ways you could add contacts. Number one is you could add these contacts manually. You could go quick actions, add a contact. As you're having that conversation, you get all of their information, put it all in the system manually as you get new contacts. That is one option. You can add their name, email, phone number, permission to contact, address, what type of lead are they, and information. Another way that you could do this is if you have a list of an Excel spreadsheet of all of your past clients, you could bulk import this list so you don't have to do it one at a time. I would recommend adding all of your past clients into the database. Okay, I'm going to stop screen sharing for a moment. If you want help with uploading every contact you have into your CRM, there is a team at KvCore that will do this for you, which is great. You don't have to do it yourself. I'm going to go to Google, actually, help.insiderealestate.com. And there is a blog post, how to bulk import your contacts. So you could bulk import them from an Excel file, then you have all of your past clients in your system. And as you get new clients, you can add them manually. So the second topic I wanted to talk about is the client journey and how you can use the CRM to automate this process. So I want you to think about all of the emails that you regularly send your contacts on a daily basis. For instance, does anyone have a buyer who recently got an offer accepted? What type of email do you send them when their offer got accepted? What kind of information are you giving them about next steps? What kind of information are you giving them about inspectors? What kind of email are you sending after you have an inspection? I'm sure there's lots of communication that you send to every client. And I'm wondering if this is similar, if there are some similarities with these different clients with buyers. I'm thinking, yes, you're sending similar information to your buyers. So something that I love about KvCore is that you can think about your process, write it down, and automate it so that it's all housed in the system. So what I would like to do is create a template for all those emails that you usually send, so they're housed in the CRM. So every time you go to send that next steps email, there's a template for it in your CRM, and you can just click send to that contact and you're good to go. So if you go to marketing, I'm going to start screen sharing again. If you go to marketing smart campaigns, this is the place where all of that communication is housed. And there are a lot of templates that have already been created for you. So if you want to use some of these, you could totally use them. The system has already created them, or you could create a new one. And you can go ahead and just create that email that you usually send to your clients, save it, and then send it when that time is applicable. Another thing you can do on the topic of organization is you can go to your dashboard and go to your calendar. And I love this. I think this is one of the best things you can do is connect a Google Mail account or connect an Outlook mail account. So every task or reminder that you set for yourself in the system is automatically going to be synced with your email. So if you have a reminder to call someone, it's going to go to your email. Or if you have a reminder to send someone a home anniversary gift a week before their home anniversary, you can create a task. So I guess to summarize that whole point is you can create reminders for everything you have to do in your business, and it's going to go to your calendar from your CRM. And you can also have templates for all of those emails that you regularly send to clients. Now, some of these emails can be automated and can go out without you even sending them. And some of them you're going to have to trigger because they're only going to happen on a specific date. So that is just a little overview of organization, creating email templates for emails you usually send, creating campaigns for sequences of information you usually send, and also syncing tasks with your calendar so that you don't forget to do things that are important. For instance, home anniversaries, birthdays, anniversaries, and different types of communication you usually have with your clients and past clients. So that's on staying organized. And that's what I have to say about staying organized. You probably know what you send for your system, but I would recommend to just reflect on that system and create some reminders in your CRM so you keep doing that and create a consistent experience.
And then Dina, I just want to add here too, like when you're new and when you're an agent that's just starting out, a lot of this stuff you're doing yourself and you build up over time. And that's what I did over 7 years. You build up your system, you build out those touches, this email goes out, before inspection, this email goes out after inspection, this is the gift. You set up the system, but when you're ready for it, and by the way, I recommend right away in the beginning, you get a transaction coordinator and they can dive into your system and help you set these up or take it to a next level. So don't be afraid in the beginning, even if you are somebody building this up and you don't have a lot of transactions yet, don't be afraid to hire a TC, $400 a transaction, and have them in your files. You just want to make sure that you have a transaction coordinator that knows KvCore.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point that as you're creating these systems, it's so that you don't have to do everything yourself and you can pull in support people like a TC that can help you with that stuff. Or maybe you're going to build a team in the future, and so you can plug your team into your system that you've created. So I love that. I use a TC and they really help my business a lot. Okay, so that's a little bit on organization and how you can do it within a CRM. Another item I'd like to talk about is sending out an email newsletter. I don't know if you guys do this. I know Kelly and Taya talked about sending an email newsletter out to their past clients on a previous training that was great. Okay, one thing that I love about KvCore is you can send an email newsletter from the system to your database that is in your system, and it doesn't cost anything extra. Certain programs that you may send an email newsletter, they may cost money. This one is totally included and it's pretty easy to use. So I
think that's really interesting. I just want to say on that really quick, because we use MailChimp and there's Flowdesk and there's other systems. We pay $200 a month for all of our contacts to do that. And if there's already a system here that could be very strategic, does it matter how many people that you're sending to? Is there a limit, Dina?
No, it's unlimited.
Okay. That's interesting.
So you can send out an email newsletter to your entire database for free included. And it's pretty good. It's pretty easy to use. If you wanted it to look more sophisticated, you could pay someone to help create a design. Graphic design is not your thing. I'm going to go ahead and screen share again real quick, and I'm going to show you how to send an email newsletter. I'm going to show you an example of one so you can see how it looks to decide, is this something you'd like to add? Okay, so I am screen sharing. If you go to all of your contacts, which is Smart CRM, I don't have a ton in here yet, but I'm going to click on all my contacts and I'm going to send a mass email. Now, if I wanted to send a mass email that was like a super basic email, I could send it right here. If I want to use an advanced editor, I can go right here. And this is how you make a more sophisticated email. So you can drop content blocks, images, buttons, dividers. You can create it from scratch, or you can use a template. There is one template in the system I'm going to show you. Here you go. They've added content blocks for you. So if you want to put an article, if you want to talk about the market, you want to add a photo, this is just a kind of like a Canva template. If you wanted to add in some information, and it's really up to you what you want to share in your email newsletter. Maybe it's trends, maybe it's stuff going on in your community. I'm going to show you an example of a newsletter that I created for you guys to take a look at. Okay, here you go. This is my newsletter. I called it Dina's Digest. So here's a header. I added in from Canva. I do a featured nonprofit that I like to do more community involvement stuff in my newsletter, volunteer opportunities, things like that going on in the community. You could insert a YouTube video talking about the market, talking about your life, your business, featured listings, really anything you want. You can add links, add videos, add photos, add your social media, add an article. You can add anything you want, and you can change the colors of everything and change the fonts. So it is super, super customizable. And like Kelly said, it's unlimited. You can send it to as many contacts as possible. And if they click on your listings, you're going to get an update through KvCore on who's active on your website. So you're gonna know who's opening those emails. So you get updated analytics on who's reading your emails and who's clicking on your listings. So you can know, like, how are my newsletters going? You're going to get analytics on that. So that is like one of the best things that I think you could use KvCore with your past clients. Keep them updated on valuable information through an email newsletter. So yeah, that's a newsletter for you. If you want it to look more sophisticated, you could definitely hire a graphic designer to make a newsletter for you. I know on like Fiverr and stuff, they have people who do KvCore newsletters. You could totally do that if graphic design like isn't your thing, but it doesn't need to be super complicated to provide valuable content that you care about and you think your past clients will care about. The last thing that I am going to talk about, and I'm not going to go a deep dive into it, but I want to talk about really quickly your KvCore website. I don't know what websites you guys are using, but KvCore has a website that is streamlined through the system, and it is free to EXP agents. You can spend a lot of money having someone, a webmaster, create and host a website for you. Maybe that's worth it to you, but as a newer agent, I know you might not have a huge budget. KvCore has a free website, and I think it's pretty great.
Dina, do you use it?
I do, yes.
Interesting. Let's talk about that later. That could be a whole nother training topic later. I will tell you, I am currently spending, I believe, way too much over the years. I have a monthly fee. The KvCore, Tina Call, who does a ton of volume, like that's what they use. They customize it, but you get a free site with KvCore that you can customize to a certain level. And I definitely recommend it because you have the search criteria in there for, searching homes. I have to pay in addition for a lot of things because I've done it on my own. I recommend that. Let's talk about that later for another possible training topic.
Yes, I would love to do a separate training on how to edit and customize your KvCore website. I'm really sad I don't have time to do that today, but you can do it yourself if you want to do a budget-friendly option to make it more you. And then maybe down the road, you want to pay someone like Tina Call to customize your website. I know Taya has done that. She used the KvCore website. Hers looks beautiful. and Tina Call, her team uses KvCore as well. It is a huge, huge, huge value add, and it's included with your EXP fees. And it's a great website. As Kelly said, it has an IDX integration. People can search properties, you can customize it. It works super, super well. And you can add a custom domain. If you go to your website currently, it's going to say like dina.star@EXP Realty, something like that. Most agents do not like this. They want their own domain. I want dinastar.com. You can go purchase that domain from GoDaddy and you can forward it to your KvCore website so it looks like your custom website. So that I love, and that is also free. So I would totally do that. Definitely consider, if you don't have a domain yet, go get one from GoDaddy and you can forward that through your GoDaddy or godomain.com through your KvCore website, and you have a customized website. And there are amazing features. You don't have to know to code to edit your own website. You don't know how to code. I don't know how, and I have edited my own website. So I would recommend doing that or hiring someone to edit your website if you want it to look better. The last thing I'm going to talk about very briefly is lead generation. I know a lot of you generate leads through social media, through open houses, through organic ways you're active in your community. I think this is amazing. Some people, they want to hit the ground running and get more leads in their database. Maybe you like to work internet leads. That's not really my thing. It used to be at my old brokerage. I'll be 100% honest with you. I have spent money paying KvCore to get leads for me, and I haven't converted any of them. So I would be super hesitant before you spend money on something to decide, is this going to be a strategy for you? So that's my disclaimer. There's lots and lots and lots of products in KvCore where you could spend a ridiculous amount of money. I really like to focus on the free things in KvCore. That's what I've done today. You could spend money buying Google ads, Facebook ads, listing ads, property boosts. I have spent money on some of these things. It hasn't turned into a single client. That's why it's not the focus of this training. But if you want to get more leads into your system and you're really good at calling those leads and you're very consistent, there are many ways to do this, to do Facebook ads directly from your KvCore site. You can boost your listings, colleagues' listings, if you have permission to get leads that you can call. So that could be a whole nother training as well. Different ways to market through KvCore to get more contacts in your database, people that you can call and turn into clients. I'm not going to talk about any of the ones that cost money today because that's probably a personal decision for your business. But I am going to talk about one free one, which I like. And those are called custom text codes. I don't know if you can imagine, if you're driving by someone's listing, do you ever see a sign writer that says text Dina to this number to get more listing information and photos? That is called a custom text code. People pay money. They pay a service to add this rider to their listing. Costs money. Through KvCore, you can do it for pretty much free. So if you're interested in doing some more marketing on the listings that you list and you want to add a sign writer that collects leads for you, this is something that is included in the KvCore system and I think is pretty cool. You have your own custom text code already. So I'm going to show you where that is really quick. So I'm going to X out of this and I'm going to go to lead engine. And I'm going to do call and text capture. And take a look. I already have a personal text code, Dina S1. So if I added to a sign writer, text Dina S1 to 763-225-3903, then that would be a way if they could text that number and they would automatically get the listing information I have on my sign writer. So that listing that they drove by, they would get the MLS texted to them and they could view the photos. They get the listing in their phone and I get their number. So if you're interested in getting more leads through your listings, that is an opportunity you could use. You could also add a QR code at the bottom of your listing rider and people could scan that QR code and go directly to your website and it would ask for their information. So if you are looking to get more leads off your listings, you could add a sign rider and you could add this personal text code. You are going to want to get your own smart number. This is only the office smart number. It's not specific to you. So you're going to want to purchase your own smart number, which is $25 a month to get an individual smart number. If you're really interested in doing more lead generation, I would recommend getting your own smart number. And I'm going to show you real quick how to get the QR code. If you go to company listings, I'm just going to click on a random one. You can go to more actions, and there's a lot of things you can do with this. You can print the flyer, post it to Facebook, post it to Pinterest, and post it to Craigslist. And all of these links will generate leads, because when the lead clicks on the link, it's going to have to give the lead's phone number and email. So this is an avenue of lead generation because it will ask for their information. So you could post your listing to Facebook Marketplace, you could post it to Facebook, Craigslist, Pinterest, and if people click on this link, they will have to give their information, and then that person will pop up in a lead in your system, and you can give them a call. If you don't want to call internet leads, then don't do this. But if you want more leads, then this is a free way to get internet leads. And if you would like a QR code, here you go. This is a free QR code for your specific listing. You can print this off, bring it to your open house, print it off, put it on a sign writer, and when people scan it, it's going to take them to your website and it's going to ask for their information. So that's just some free marketing you can do on KvCore. There's literally so many opportunities to market through KvCore, ones that cost money, ones that don't. If you want to get more leads in your database, feel free to send me a message or we can do another training on it. And there are lots of trainings on YouTube and through EXP to tell you how to get more leads in your system if that is something that you want. You want more people to call to get future clients. There's many, many, many opportunities that we just don't have time to go into today. But yeah, I'm going to open up to questions. That's pretty much what I have for you. Yeah, and that's on lead generation.
Thanks, girl. Okay, so any questions before we wrap up here? I would encourage everyone, if you want deeper dives on this, go on EXP World and, look that up and get deeper dives on KvCore. But that was a great, any questions before we wrap up? Dina, thank you. Anyone? I'm going to stop this recording and let us ask off topic or off record.